In the heart of Jerusalem on the eve of Passover, Jesus gathered his disciples for a meal that would echo through history, the Last Supper. This was no ordinary gathering. It was a Passover meal, rooted in the Jewish tradition of remembering God's deliverance of Israel from Egypt as described in Exodus 12:11-14. And thus shall ye eat it, with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast. And against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord. And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you, when I smite the land of Egypt. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast to the Lord throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. This sacred context set the stage for a moment of profound significance. The setting was humble, an upper room, likely a simple space with a low table, cushions, and flickering oil lamps, reflecting the modesty of Jesus' ministry. Yet the air was heavy with unspoken tension. The disciples, unaware of the full weight of what was to come, sensed a shift. Jesus knew his crucifixion loomed, as foretold in Matthew 26:2. Ye know that after 2 days is the feast of the Passover, and the Son of Man is betrayed to be crucified. This impending uncertainty mirrors the anxieties we face today, whether it's a sudden job loss, a health crisis, or global unrest. Just as the disciples sat at that table, not knowing what lay ahead, we often find ourselves in moments where the future feels uncertain. Yet the Last Supper offers a lens through which we can find meaning and strength in such times. At the heart of the Last Supper lies the profound symbolism of the bread and wine, which Jesus imbued with eternal meaning. As they ate, Jesus took bread, blessed it, broke it, and said, as recorded in Matthew 26:26, "Take, eat, this is my body." The bread, simple and sustaining, became a symbol of Christ's body, his sacrifice that nourishes believers through trials. In a world where we face daily struggles like financial strain or personal loss, this act reminds us that Christ's sacrifice offers spiritual sustenance, a source of strength when life feels overwhelming. Then Jesus took the cup, gave thanks, and said, as in Matthew 26:27-28, "Drink ye all of it. For this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins." The wine, representing his blood, signifies the covenant of salvation, a promise of forgiveness and unity with God. For modern audiences, this speaks to finding purpose amid chaos. Whether it's mending a broken relationship or facing workplace stress, the blood of Christ reminds us of redemption's cost and the unity it fosters. The act of breaking bread together was more than a meal. It was a communal bond, as seen in Acts 2:46, where early Christians continued daily with one accord in the temple, and breaking bread from house to house did eat their meat with gladness and singleness of heart. Today, this calls us to build community, sharing a meal with family, supporting a struggling friend, or joining a church group, to combat the isolation of uncertain times, reminding us that connection is a divine gift. The Last Supper was a moment of profound faith and hope, even as the shadow of the cross loomed. The disciples, though unaware of the full scope of events, trusted Jesus' leadership, as seen in their presence despite his ominous words in John 16:32, "Behold, the hour cometh, yea, is now come, that ye shall be scattered, every man to his own, and shall leave me alone. And yet I am not alone, because the Father is with me." Their faith, though tested, models how we can hold fast to trust in God during uncertain times, like when a job loss threatens stability or a health scare shakes our confidence. The Last Supper also radiates hope, as Jesus spoke of a future kingdom in Matthew 26:29. "But I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of the vine, until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom." This promise of a future reunion offered the disciples a beacon of light, much like how hope sustains us today, whether it's hoping for recovery after a setback or peace in a divided world. Moreover, the meal underscored unity, as the disciples shared this intimate moment, strengthening their bond. In our lives, unity is vital. Think of coworkers rallying together during a tough project or families gathering to support one another. The Last Supper teaches that faith in God, hope for the future, and unity with others can anchor us, no matter how turbulent life becomes. The Last Supper resonates deeply with the uncertainties we face in modern life, from economic instability to political turmoil, much like the disciples' fears of an unknown future. Just as they sat in that upper room, uncertain of what lay ahead, we grapple with challenges like job insecurity or global crises. The Bible offers guidance, as in Philippians 4:6-7, "Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving let your requests be made known unto God, and the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus." This call to prayer mirrors how the disciples found strength in Jesus' presence, encouraging us to seek solace in faith during anxious times. Community was central to the Last Supper, and today we can draw strength from our own communities, whether it's a church group supporting a struggling member or neighbors uniting after a natural disaster. The meal's emphasis on fellowship reminds us to lean on others, fostering connection in an often isolated world. The Last Supper's enduring message of faith, hope, and unity speaks to navigating life's complexities, offering a timeless blueprint for finding peace. Whether you're facing a personal crisis or societal upheaval, this sacred meal invites you to trust in God's plan, hold fast to hope, and build bridges with those around you. The Last Supper is far more than a historical event. It is a timeless reminder of the enduring power of faith, hope, and unity. As Jesus shared that final meal, he left a legacy of strength, as seen in his words in John 16:33, "These things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world." This promise offers solace today, whether you're navigating financial struggles, family tensions, or the weight of an uncertain future. The meal invites us to draw inspiration from Christ's example, choosing faith over fear, hope over despair, and connection over isolation. In our lives, this might mean gathering with loved ones for a shared meal to rebuild bonds, leaning on a faith community during a crisis, or simply trusting God's plan when life feels chaotic. The Last Supper stands as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, showing that even in the darkest moments, we are never alone. Its message endures, offering guidance and hope for our own uncertain times, reminding us that through faith, hope, and unity, we can face any challenge with courage and grace.